This is EcoTricity's EcoTEC Roundup show from Aotearoa's first and only climate-positive certified renewable electricity provider. We only source from wind, hydro and solar, and we are the leading supplier of electricity to EVs in Aotearoa. Switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome back to another roundup of news from the world of clean cars and green energy. Thanks for joining me. We start today's show with news that Tesla has begun to send out invites to its October 10th reveal event of its newest vehicle, its promised Tesla robotaxi. The title of the invite? We Robot. At the same time, Elon Musk stated on X that buses won't be needed after Tesla rolls out unsupervised full self-driving, noting that the Tesla robotaxi will be cheaper than public transit. Responding to a claim from another user that electric buses won't work in cold climates, which in of itself is patently false, Musk stated, quote, "Then the battery packs of the buses are too small," end quote, using the moment to then note Teslas operate well in super cold temperatures. He then went on to say that Tesla's service will be similar to a bus ticket in cost, causing some outlets, including electric, to check that claim. Current estimates seem to place the cost far higher than a bus for robotaxi, but it's worth noting that Elon Musk is a known critic of public transit and has a tendency to overpromise on Tesla's autonomous tech. Peugeot has officially announced new longer-range variants of its E3008 and E5008 electric cars ahead of their official Paris Motor Show debut. Thanks to a new battery pack, which the firm says is made entirely in France, the E3008 and E5008 both get tweaked drivetrains for their long-range variants, with 170 kilowatts at the wheels and 96.9 kilowatt-hours of usable battery capacity. According to the WLTP test cycle, they are rated respectively to 700 kilometres, 434 miles, and 668 kilometres, 415 miles, respectively. Prices have yet to be announced, but we can expect them after their Paris show debut, where they will share the stage with an all-new, all-electric Peugeot E408. Audi has officially published pricing of the all-new Audi Q6 e-tron for the US, with the entry-level model starting from just over $65,000 including mandatory destination fees. The launch model will be a 236 kilowatt rear-wheel drive variant with 6.3-second sprint time. If equipped with Audi's special Ultra package, you'll be able to swap out the standard 19-inch wheels for 18-inch wheels and ultra-low rolling resistance tyres for a claimed 321 miles, 516 kilometres of range per charge. At the other end of the lineup is the SQ6 e-tron, which packs nearly 370 kilowatts at the wheels and has a sprint time of 4.1 seconds. It's based on the same platform as the Porsche Macan EV, so it should be good. Unlike many European automakers who have fought against Chinese brands in the marketplace, Stellantis is reaping the benefits of working alongside Chinese automakers, specifically LEAPmotor. It's just launched not one, but two LEAPmotor models ahead of the Paris Motor Show, with the LEAPmotor T03 now offering Europe a new compact A-segment vehicle with a range of 265 kilometres, 164 miles, for €18,900. Its larger sibling, the C10 SUV, is significantly pricier at €36,400, but also offers 420 kilometres, 260 miles of WLTP range. Folks outside of Europe might view that range as a little pants, but remember that, for the most part, cities in Europe aren't quite as widely spaced apart as they are in other parts of the world. Nissan has officially begun a recall campaign effective September 19th to address what might be a pretty sizable problem in the battery packs of newer Nissan Leafs. According to the recall notice, which has yet to be published on any official website, affected vehicles may experience, quote, excessive lithium deposits within battery cells, increasing the electrical resistance and potentially causing a fluctuation in the state of charge, end quote. It goes on to note that the increased electrical resistance could result in a battery pack undergoing rapid heating, which could ultimately lead to a fire when fast charging. It says that owners with affected vehicles should avoid using CHAdeMO charging, and is directly in response to a series of fires involving 2018 through 2023 Nissan Leafs catching fire. We've unfortunately seen plenty in the media in recent months about countries delaying or even reversing policies that would help drive us towards a zero-emission future. But a new report this week from the International Energy Agency, or IEA for short, gives us hope that it's still possible for the world's governments to shift into high gear in order to implement the energy goals set by nearly 200 independent nations last year at COP28 in Dubai. During the conference, participants agreed to work to triple renewable energy generation by 2030, as well as increase global energy efficiency. But to date, few nations have managed to even make meaningful steps in the right direction. The IEA, however, says that it's figured out how world governments can meet those targets and lays out a path forward. This includes modernising 25 million kilometres of electrical grid around the world and making a 15-fold increase in grid-tied energy battery storage. Not so long ago, rental company Hertz was heavily promoting its push towards a zero-tailpipe emission rental fleet through a massive investment in EVs. That investment has led to more availability of EVs at Hertz locations around the world, but in recent months, Hertz has pulled the plug, no pun intended, on expanding its EV fleet and has instead been selling some of its EV rental fleet off at a loss. We've seen everything from Tesla Model Y to Model 3 through to Polestar models, and even Chevrolet Bolt EVs get sold at heavily discounted prices, and some of you have even benefited from those sales, like my friend Exoff. Hi Exoff! Now we've heard that Hertz is selling off some of its rental fleet SIlverado EV with as much as $11,000 off the price of a brand new model if you're willing to buy a lightly used one. It's a shame to see Hertz sell off its EV fleet, but it might be a good bargain for those looking for an electric pickup. It's official. The charging stations are good for local businesses. That's according to a new study from MIT, which concludes that when a new set of charging stations pop up in an area, local businesses benefit. The study examined local businesses near to fast charging stations and noted that not only did local businesses see an uptick in customer traffic, but they also saw an increase in the amount of money being spent by customers. The study is hardly going to be surprising to those who already drive EVs regularly, as the chances are you've made a choice to drop by a local restaurant or coffee shop while getting some extra electrons. But the study seems to suggest other businesses benefit too, with any kind of shop that could be easily perused in a short period of time, benefiting from folks walking by with time to kill. It's official. LDV, the only company to offer a full electric pickup in Aotearoa, is considering bringing its all-new electric ute, the e-tron 9, to the Kiwi marketplace. Unveiled in Europe last week, the e-tron 9 is slightly larger than the T90 EV, but unlike the T90 EV, it features all-wheel drive with a 102 kilowatt-hour battery pack, good for a claimed 429 kilometres on the WLTP test cycle. While it does offer all-wheel drive, its payload though is a little less, and that's one of the reasons why LDV is still remaining a little tight-lipped about if the e-tron 9 will officially launch in the Kiwi marketplace or not. But because we know it's being considered, now's your time to let LDV know if you want to buy one or not. It might just sway the company's decision. From a vehicle we're not sure will make it to the market, to one we absolutely do know is coming, the Kia EV3. Confirmed for a Kiwi launch early next year, the EV3 will slot into a really important market segment that's lost some alternative models this year thanks to other companies pulling out of the market. With an 81.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack and up 600 clicks of range per charge on the WLTP test cycle, that's enough to drive from Wellington to Auckland and still have range left for a few errands without stopping to charge. I'm sure when it launches, Gav will be getting some seat time, so watch this space. Before we get to the last two stories, I have a quick question. Are you in the market for a new EV? If you are, and you live in Aotearoa, you should totally check out our very own buyer's guide at ecotricity.co.nz. It is packed with all the information you need to pick a car that's right for you, and includes plenty of details about available vehicles, daily life with an EV, and so much more. So follow the link below and start your journey today. And now it's time for those last two stories. A new study from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in the US has highlighted something we've been saying for a really long time. Drivers abuse semi-autonomous driver assistance features. Through studying Tesla's autopilot and Volvo's pilot assist, IIHS, working with MIT's Aggie Lab, showed that drivers using both systems had a tendency to engage in distracting behaviours, such as checking their phone, eating a sandwich, or doing other non-driving related activities that reduce their awareness of what's going on around them. But what's even worse is that the study highlighted that drivers quickly mastered the bare minimum level of attention required to keep said systems active, allowing the system to operate while not really paying attention to the road around them. It's a problem across all semi-autonomous systems, and we need better ways of ensuring people remain actively engaged in the road ahead when using them. And finally, if you've watched any of our car reviews in the last few years, you'll know that one of our biggest bugbears with new crossovers is how infrequently car companies add rear wipers as standard fit features. Automakers often claim that people don't need rear wipers, but if you live in places where the weather is often poor, you'll know it's an essential feature, and that's why an engineer in Switzerland has come up with his own solution, the GeckoWiper. Launched on Kickstarter this week, it's a retrofit wiper primarily for previous model year IONIQ 5 EVs that lack rear wipers. New model years are getting them, frustratingly, and it uses both suction and a super strong magnet to ensure the wiper doesn't go anywhere when you're using it. It's already blown past its goal in just a few days on Kickstarter and might just be worth a look if your EV is lacking that all-important rear wiper. I just love it when people solve problems with some good old-fashioned ingenuity. And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go though, do make sure you've hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest in EV news from this channel. And if you haven't switched yet, it's high time to switch to Aotearoa's first and only climate positive certified renewable electricity provider. It is super easy to make the switch, and in doing so, you'll help the nation wean itself off dirty energy and onto clean green power that will keep the land beautiful for generations to come. I'll be back next week as usual, and in the meantime, do check out other videos on this channel, including from the lovely Gavin Kiwi EV Shoebridge. He's been driving a Polestar again. Thanks for joining me. I'm Nikki Gordon Bloomfield. Have an amazing week. Ka kite. See you next time.